So now if you stuck around this far, we're gonna give you the cheat code. Primocanes is gonna be 5 and your floricanes are gonna be 3. Now here's the cheat code once again. You see all of these right here? Has 3 leaves on it. That's what's telling you that this is the floricane. This has to come out. That's the cheat code now. Now if you come over here, you see this one right here? It has 5 leaves on it. This is how you know this is the primocane. This is this year's growth. This is what will produce your new berries going into the new season. So we got to get rid of all of this, and this is what we're going to be left with. Introducing you guys to our Ark Freedom. This thing gave us a bumper crop this season, and we're getting ready to prep this for our second crop. So we want to start by pruning off some of our old floricanes. So of course, as we always do, we want to make sure we clean off our snips before we even start, because we don't want to transfer any disease over into any of our other plants. So we got a little alcohol there. Wipe this off, lock it back in. We got our big loppers here. Wipe that off as well. Now, one of the things that we're always talking about here, you see we're talking about tipping. Now, what we didn't do on these, and you can see those whips are probably about 10 feet tall. We didn't tip on these. Now, if I tip on these, you can see where our lateral growth is, similar to how we have with our tomato suckers. You're gonna have a lateral come out of each one of these. And I'm gonna show you why we wanna do that. Because if you look at this one, where we didn't tip, but you see how wide these laterals are now? We only get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, compared to 20 on that little small plant right there. So this is one of the reasons, or one of the choices I would say, that you're gonna have in pruning, in whichever way you decide to prune, because what you're gonna have here is your apical dominance. And this particular whip right here is what they call gravitropism. When it drops down here, it's going to be below the highest point in the plant, and what will happen is all the auxins will go to the highest point, and that's going to be now your new apical dominance. Whereas if this was up in the air, this would be your apical dominance. So by this being down here, we're triggering gravitropism, and it shifts this energy back up to the top. And that's why you don't see a lot of growth here, but most of the growth is at top. Now this is pretty cool if you want like an arching effect, and which is how I have that, because you see I have it in like some 6-foot T-posts here mounted up to it, and you can kind of walk under them. When you do it this way with the tipping, you're gonna have a wide bush. So that again is based upon your own preference. And you can see here what happens when you tip these. You see how these laterals start to come out? You see how close they are together? This is going to give you far more berries than you would growing it like this. But here's the thing, and I say but, you're going to have a wider bush. So you're going to have to definitely be able to control that. Again, we're going to come here, and the same thing here. Apical dominance. The highest point is going to be where the most growth is, and you can already see that happening right here. Apical dominance, the highest point. This is where the growth is going to come. Wherever the highest point of this is, that's where your most growth is going to come from. But we'll go here again and referencing tipping. Again, you're going to take those first 2 top nodes off. You see where you got that soft tissue here? You want to take it all the way down into the brown, and you want to just tip that. Just cut it off. And just like with our suckers, you're going to get those shoots to come out of this between the leaf nodes, and this is what they're going to look like. You see how it's starting right here? They're going to start pushing out on all of those leaf nodes, and that's going to give you twice as many berries. So this is why we tip. This is tall as this is going to get because we took the tip off of it, but it's going to get wide and bushy. This right here, this is a floricane, and you see this right here is dead going all the way to the soil. The floricanes In their second year, you want to remove them. We're going to go down here as far to the soil as we possibly can, and we want to clip that. And again, these are floricanes. They are not going to grow anything else. And you can look at the end of here, you see how dark that wood is? Already starting to brown. She's not going to produce anything else. This is a floricane. In the second year, they will not produce after that. This is another floricane here. You see how it's all dried up? After that second year, she's not going to produce. So we want to go all the way down as far as we can to the soil line and clip it. But she's not going to produce anymore. So you look at the border that I have around here. This is 12 inches tall, but you see I have half of this into the soil going all the way around. And that's to keep them from traveling under the soil to get out of this bed. And it's still no good, because if you come down here, you'll see some starting to sprout up right here. And if you really look close down here, if I go a couple of days without cutting the grass, you'll start seeing them pop up everywhere down here. There is really no containing this. And then even if you go over here to our alfalfa patch, that same thing here. Let's see if we can pull this out. So you're not going to be able to contain them. That's one of the negatives that you're going to have when you're growing blackberries. So now if you stuck around this far, we're going to give you the cheat code. Primocanes is going to be 5 and your floricanes are going to be 3. Now here's the cheat code once again. You see all of these right here? Has 3 leaves on it. That's what's telling you that this is a floricane. This has to come out. It's the cheat code now. Now if you come over here, you see this one right here? It has 5 leaves on it. This is how you know this is the primocane. This is this year's growth. This is what will produce your new berries going into the new season. So we'll go down here to the bottom. You see, we're just going to follow this large one all the way down. And we're going to be left with nothing but our primocanes. And we're going to use our small bypass pruners to take these 2 out. And she looks totally different now. You might be thinking that we're giving away a whole lot, but it really is not. This we've already tipped. Everything that's in the 4-foot range, we'll tip it. One of the ways that we know the difference between the floricane and the primocanes, 5 and 3. If you got 5 on it, that's a primocane. If you have 3 on it, that's a floricane. So we've tipped everything that's in that 4-foot range. 4 foot, which is chest high, is all we wanted. Then we'll come back. But this has already been tipped in the center here. So just clean everything up. And that's pretty much it. And this is what it looks like after we prune my prime Ark Freedom. All of this growing out the box.